to Geek Yogurt. This is Rara, and I'm here with...
Knock.
Wave.
And Sam. Hello.
Okay, that was a little bit rough, but I promise you it'll get better as we go.
Yeah, you can
Rough
make
Rider, no,
listen,
you don't want nada, no.
Listen, you can guarantee anything you want. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come, but,
All right.
Keep rubbing it.
yeah.
Just trying to keep it professional here, that's all.
Right.
Trying to promise the best for our...
You know, there's
our
one in
listeners.
every group. One who wants to keep it professional.
It always goes right out the window.
That's Batman for you.
Yep, that makes sense.
I'm Batman.
Somehow, I'm a normal human, but I'm smarter than Reed Richards, a better fighter than Captain America.
You damn
and
right
strong-
he's a better fighter
and
than Captain
stronger
America.
than damn near anyone else that doesn't have superpowers.
That's all been settled already, Wave. I don't know what you're making jokes about, but those are all universal
he's
truths.
overpowered, yes.
Yeah, okay. Alright, well, this episode we are going to talk about stuff that we like, and this may be the format that we go with every week, we don't know.
It's kind of an experimental thing, so...
Yeah. So the current thing that we are most jazzed about,
like what Wave
the
is
current
doing.
thing that, like, Wave is making masturbation gestures about right now, the thing that gets him to blow his load.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about now.
Motions of the week, you know? Yeah.
So-
Rara, you want to start? What's got you jazzed this
Sure.
week?
The thing that's got me jazzed this week, because I just saw the episode twice, was the most recent episode of Gotham. Now, I know that's going to start some razzing from my fellow geeks here, but I have to be honest with everybody. I've loved this show from the beginning. Sure, there have been little things that have made me upset here and there, but I've loved this show from the beginning.
I'll say that the show has grown on me. I started out absolutely hating it because it felt to me that it just didn't understand Batman mythos. I think there's a weird division of Batman fans, and I think me and Rara fall on the different sides where me coming from such a passionate Batman fan, I get really reserved about what Batman does next, whereas there's other people who just, if it's Batman, they love it. And I think we kind of fall on that.
I'm a kamikaze zero for Batman.
That
man.
division.
I love all that shit. But I know that there are things in it that aren't good, and we've agreed on those things.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that those things are okay for me because I know at the end of the episode I'm gonna be happy.
Right.
You know, so whether if it's Cat, who we all know as the Catwoman slinking around, I know that by the end of the episode I would have seen enough mob play in Gotham between Falcone and Gordon struggling of what he needs to do to make me happy at the end and make me want to see the next episode.
And I do like that, and that's the stuff that's growing on me is that focus towards the mob stuff. The stuff that really bothers me is the stuff that just feels like wheel turning, where you're not going anywhere because they just seemed more concerned with setting up characters for the future rather than just executing good, solid story.
It's the long con.
Right.
It's the long con.
Yeah, but the long con,
right.
when you've got Batman at age 14 already doing stuff that Bruce was doing on his travels in Europe, it doesn't really line up with what Batman should be doing.
Because I'm sure we're going to have an entire episode dedicated to how much Gotham sucks. Gotham.
And I relish that combat with you, Wave. I relish it.
In all fairness, yes, I even feel Gotham has gotten a little better. It's kind of like how after the 10th Yingling, I can stomach Bush Light. Sorry, after the 10th shot of Jack, I can stomach Bush Light.
There you go.
It's kind of like that, but okay, so that's what's jazzing you.
Yeah.
Well, look. Don't worry, an entire episode about Gotham is coming.
There'll be a whole discussion of just comic book television shows and their.
Oh no! Gotham's getting its own episode, and then we'll talk about the good
Gotham
stuff.
does need its own.
That's an hour-long conversation.
Let me just
in
end
itself.
this with this
Yeah.
because we want to keep this kind of short and sweet.
Yeah.
Let me just wrap up with this. I saw the most recent episode twice. And I actually was thinking the character that they totally made up for the show, Fish.
Can I pause for just 1 second?
Sure.
I have not seen the last episode, so be mindful of spoilers.
Yes, I'm going to keep it very nebulous for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nebula?
Okay, Sam?
Yeah.
Amy Pond is here?
Yeah.
No. The thing that they did with Fish was good at the end of the episode because I felt like for a character that they spent a ton of previous episodes sort of filling out, letting you get to know, to have her sort of start to have almost no place after, you know, leaving Gotham City, which is basically the whole part that the show centers around, was kind of a letdown. But the last episode, I think she sort of had a little resurgence, kind of made me care about her a little bit more. And although there may be rumors that she may not be coming back for a second season, I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I know that the actress Jada has said something about not returning. But
it feels good that she got some props and a little bit of love.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, in my opinion.
Hey man, if you like sinking ships, then go on the trip. So
yeah, absolutely. Because you know what? Because then you get in with the sharks.
That's right. You do.
And then you can really get nasty. Once you're in with the sharks.
All right, moving on. Knock. What do you got? What do you got this week?
This week, like every week, well, almost every week.
Yeah.
Arrow. Arrow is my #1 TV show, and mostly because it has to do with the Green Arrow.
Yeah. Awesome character.
It kind of blends old Green Arrow with the New 52, mainly the New 52 bow that compresses down. You press a button.
This is for the show?
This is for the show.
Yeah.
No doubt the effects for the show are really good for what it is.
It is.
They are, on a side note, just to switch real quick, I didn't see a lot of Agent Carter that was on, but the effects in Agent Carter...
It was great.
The effects in Agent Carter were mind-blowing for television production. I was very blown away by what I saw.
It's Disney, though. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's true.
Over the top.
But the thing is, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., especially for the first season, looked like crap.
Yeah.
Especially the effects.
For the first half of the first season.
Yeah, I mean, they did some course correcting definitely towards the later end, but just to have them, like right out of the gate with Agent Carter have such great effects. And from what I've seen of Arrow, I haven't watched a lot of it, but what I've seen looks really, really good. Well, I know a lot of people are...
You want the seasons?
Do you have them? They're on Netflix, aren't they?
First 2 seasons are on Netflix.
If they're on Netflix, I'll check them out.
Fuck it. I'm going to keep mine.
But it's funny you mentioned that it's a combination of, like, the New 52 and comics, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, the Ollie in the TV show isn't like the Ollie in the comics. And, again, I'm not huge into Green Lantern, so I don't know how true...
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
Or Green Arrow, I'm sorry, yeah. I don't know how true that really is. And if it's
it really is. It's a mix between the old and the new. I mean, some parts of the suit... reminisce back to the 80s Green Arrow with the hood, and even when he had the grease paint instead of the mask, it was more reminiscent of the late 80s.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a mix between the two. I mean, he has the armored vest now that he has in the New 52, but he still has the hood, and he still.
And do you like it that way?
I like it that way. I actually prefer it that way over the pointed hat, the Robin Hood.
You're right.
Let me ask you another question, though, Knock.
Let me give you an answer.
Okay, then.
Let me interject with more bullshit.
Exactly. Now, I was a big Arrow fan, too, and still am. But Gotham has overtaken Arrow for me as my thing.
That's your
for
problem.
the week.
Because, Arrow has actual continuity to the comic books and the DC world.
Am I going to be able to ask my question?
Maybe.
Preferably not.
Here's my question.
Yes.
With this season, and a little bit with last season, we've seen, like, sort of, and I only choose this word because I have no other, and it's my job to do so, dilution of the Arrow storyline that they had going on, where it was basically Ollie and the city. But now we're introducing all kinds of other elements, like heroes, like the Flash and the Atom, and Black Canary playing like a real Black Canary type role where she goes out on her own. And so we're sort of diverging from the man in city and going to almost like a league kind of play.
Kind of turning into a league, but
what do you think about that? Because you're an Arrow fan.
I am an Arrow fan.
What do you think of that?
I still watch the show for the Arrow himself, but
would you keep watching for a Justice League Arrow?
I want to say yes, but I would rather just see him out on his own or with either Arsenal, a.k.a.
a small team,
Roy Harper, a.k.a. kind of Speedy.
Because by default, you can't tell the same quality of story about one person because you can invest all the time into them like they did with the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I mean,
if you also have to introduce,
only they could tell a great
out.
story about Gordon without having to stop and flesh out all these other fucking characters that we don't really care about.
They did, Wave.
No, they didn't.
Of course they did.
Gotham is a mob story show.
Is it?
It's a mob story show.
It wants to be.
And they they throw Batman characters into it.
Do I have to get my lists out
All
again?
right, all right.
This is not
All right.
fun.
Next time. Anyway,
that's the
yes.
Gotham show.
I would rather keep Arrow with the Green Arrow and Black Canary, or Green Arrow and Arsenal. But it looks like the way things are going, they're taking everybody from the Green Arrow storylines with Speedy, aka Arsenal, Black Canary, and who's the other one?
Adam.
Mia / Thea.
Yeah.
And
Thea.
they're introducing every character that they have come up with throughout the comic books in the past 30 years.
Before we switch gears, I just wanted to. At one point, I was wishing that, as much as I love like Ra's al Ghul and the other Batman villains, I wanted Arrow to like introduce like Arrow villains, not necessarily Batman and Gotham villains. However, upon research of what villains Arrow has, I understand now why there's a lot of Gotham City villains. Because I don't know if you know of any more that are a little bit more appropriate for the show, but there didn't seem to be very well defined villains for Green Arrow.
No, Green Arrow is mostly taking on the bad guys, the bank robbers, and
Right,
the
that's like what he was
carjackers.
made for, because he
Yeah,
didn't
it was
have
pretty
the
much
powers.
kind of early Batman in
Right.
Star City.
Right, so he took on the not necessarily smaller
Regular
crime.
crime.
Yeah, regular crime, not the superpowered crime.
Yeah, he didn't take on the superpower crime. And
He's not Batman.
But
Yeah,
Because he's not a superpowered guy like Batman. Continue.
he did go after Ra's al Ghul in one.
Right, there's
series.
been parts in the comics where they've
there
crossed
there
over.
were
Yeah,
there were also
so it's not completely out of left field.
Kevin Smith's Sound of Violence. I got it right this time.
Yeah,
Where he introduced a new character called Onomatopoeia.
I remember that.
Oh, I have his hero play.
He's super cool.
Wait, was that in a Batman comic or a Green Arrow comic?
He was introduced in a Green Arrow comic and went over to Batman.
Batman.
In what did I tell you it was?
Don't remember.
State of Justice.
It was one of the other Kevin Smith books. That it was a Batman book that Kevin
The one that Kevin Smith wrote. I didn't read it.
I can't remember.
Smith. Widening Gyre. Widening Gyre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Widening Gyre and there's
Can't
two
remember.
of them. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
Next.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, there's a few things that have been clicking around in my brain. Number one would be I've just been digging in Star Wars Episode 7 rumors and plot details so much so I've got I feel like I know the first about 15-20 minutes of the movie, but I think we should save the Star Wars and Star Trek stuff for another show. So what's got me jazzed this week? Switching gears a little bit. I just pre-ordered Mortal Kombat X. Really jazzed about that.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I know. Okay, the song was kicking around in my head anyway. We were all thinking it. Really excited. I've been a Mortal Kombat fan pretty much my whole life. 90s. It's the one I was able to beat my brothers in. They had Street Fighter. I had Mortal Kombat. So next generation of Mortal Kombat's coming out for next gen. I guess it's current gen now, which is weird to say. 25 years in the future. Previous Mortal Kombat game kind of rebooted everything. It retold. Not that people are. There's a story to Mortal Kombat. Yeah, there's a story. It's a little convoluted, so they've kind of rebooted it in 2011. Now this is jumping 25 years in the future. We've got the kids of the classic combatants entering the tournament.
Wait. Somebody banged Sub-Zero?
That is unfortunately
Which Sub-Zero,
not true. Yeah, there are two Sub-Zeros.
Oh.
Yeah, there's the older brother by Han, who's like more ruthless.
Okay, fine. Somebody banged Scorpion?
No, nobody bangs Scorpion either.
He just replicated.
Well, you know what? No.
He reptiled?
I take that back. Somebody did bang Scorpion, but that was before he was the Hell Wraith that he is now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because
That's no fun.
Nah, I know. Sub-Zero slaughtered his family. He went to hell. He came back for vengeance. All that good stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, so anyway, the new generation's coming out. They've added lots of cool stuff this time. Instead of having just a different costume, a different look for your character, each costume comes with a different variation of fighting style.
I love that part.
Yeah, I think that's a very clever way to kind of freshen up the fighting genre, you know, because fighting games, much like racing games, they kind of get stale after a while, you know. You can only go so far with that kind of that tech, you know, that style of play.
It's almost like having 3 games in one.
Yeah, so each character has these 3 different variations, and you can kind of cater your gameplay and who you fight to each one. Hold on, pause.
He actually stopped it.
I paused.
So very excited about the next generation of that. I think they've done some cool stuff. It looks absolutely beautiful. And I hope it's good because I spent $100 on the collector's edition. So here's
son.
Well, technically it was 160. I had a gift card, so I only got it for like 90 and change.
Nice.
So you get a lot of stuff with it. Here's hoping it's good.
I think it'll probably be really good.
I know.
saw some of the game footage.
Yeah, I know. Ra saw some of the game footage. And it looks violent. It looks polished. And just looks fun.
Is there going to be any extra characters? I thought I saw something about Jason Voorhees and Freddy
That's
Krueger.
right. Yeah. This first of all, on top of anything else, this is the first Mortal Kombat game that's going to introduce the most new characters out of any of them. So, like I said, new generation of fighters are coming in. On top of that, yeah, NetherRealm, the studio behind it, promised there's going to be guest fighters that aren't, you know, natural to the Mortal Kombat mythos.
So you're going to have to go through the storyline to get the extra
Probably,
characters.
or you know, there might be you know, like DLC sort of stuff.
Right.
Like they had the last tournament, they had like Kratos for the PlayStation,
Right.
and they had Freddy Krueger. So a lot of people are kind of pulling for like Jason Voorhees. I hear there's rumors. Ash would be really cool. I keep hearing the Predator turn up. So and Rorschach from Watchmen, I guess, is heavily rumored. So I don't know. We'll see. And that's part of the collector.
Batman Light.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. The collector's edition I got has all the DLC in it. So we'll see what it brings.
I'll have to try to borrow that from you sometime.
Yeah.
When I get my own, because I am a Street Fighter person.
I know you are. Yeah.
And MK3 kind of turned me off to Mortal Kombat.
Oh, see,
but
MK3 is where it turned for me. I think it got better there because they introduced combos. Because before, in Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, which 2 is the most bullshit game I've ever played in my life, that game, all arcade games are meant to take your quarters, but this game existed to fucking make you broke.
I played MK1, MK2, and MK3 on Super Nintendo, but I
yeah.
also played MK1 on the arcade at the billiard hall.
Oh, wow. I remember when they had arcades there.
I played them on the Game Boy. Original Game Boy.
The Game Boys are even harder. Those are so hard. Oh my god.
Yeah, I still have them.
Wow.
And my original Game Boy.
Man, those are hard games. But
I was
yeah,
gonna say, this new one makes me want to play it.
yeah,
The story mode looks really rich.
What was
and
the
the
one
characters look really well fleshed out.
really well fleshed out.
What
You
was the
know.
one for PlayStation 2?
Yeah, they entered the digital age with Deadly Alliance and Deception.
I think it was Deception.
Yeah.
They had an actual storyline. You
That
were the old
yeah,
man.
the actual.
I had that one.
That
I
one was
just-
really cool. They introduced this thing called Conquest Mode, where you actually played a story. It was like almost an RPG within a fighting game. It was brilliant.
Kind of
So-
like SoCal with their Soul Calibur 3, the best of the
Oh
series.
yeah, they did.
With
do that.
Chronicles of the Sword, which was amazing, and then 4 was just shit, and
Yeah,
I stopped caring about SoCal after
Well,
that.
that was also really hard. I couldn't get the battle system down on that. I always got my ass kicked.
I loved it.
What game? What are you playing now, Wave?
I'm on my 3rd run through of Fire Emblem Awakening, and it's addicting. Because the game is just fun to play.
Yeah,
and
those games were always really fun to play.
I mean, yeah, I've run through these missions, 3 times already. But because I also have relationships in there, and you can, it's a turn-based game. It's basically like a miniatures game for the 3DS, which is awesome.
Yeah.
'Cause I love miniature games. But yeah, you can pair up your units, and they have a relationship that can go up the more that they fight alongside each other, and you can get little side things. And eventually, after a male and female character get up to S rank, they'll get married, and their kid from the future will show up as a side quest, and you can go and recruit their kid.
Now, can you choose who ends up in relationships, or is it kind of like linear? Like they have a set track that it goes.
You
down?
can choose But
Yeah.
there are a lot of characters that can only have relationships with certain people.
Okay.
Like Crom, who is one of the two main characters.
Yeah.
There's only 4 marriage. There's only 4 marriage options with him, and then there's like 3 just guy buddy. You know.
Right. Well, can you choose to have? Does it have to be hetero? Like, can you choose any relationships you want? I mean, one they have to produce. They have to produce a kid. I mean, obviously for the future to come back.
And that's the reason no.
Okay.
Because that was one of the first things I thought of, and so only if it appears on the support chart will the relationship actually grow, which has the negative effect of there are certain characters where I'd love for Tharja, my dark mage, who is my favorite character in this game, and her daughter is my second favorite, but I love for her and my mage Muriel to work together better, more and more, but they have no relationship path, so I can pair them up all I want, but they're going to stay the same.
Right, yeah.
That's kind of wild. It's like a digital dating game.
Yes.
With also battles.
And there's eugenics in this because the future children, their skills are determined by their parents. So they'll actually inherit skills from both the mother and father and their hair color from their father.
You know what else I find fascinating about this?
And I have to unlock every single one of these. You don't understand. I'm going to unlock every conversation.
Well, that's cool.
So I have like 20 more run-throughs to do.
Well, that's the thing. There's high replayability on that, which is really fun. Another thing I think is cool is nobody really thinks to do this. They always associate time travel with science fiction, but here they've slammed time travel into a fantasy stuff, and it works.
This
works
is
so well.
Pure fantasy too.
Yeah.
There's no sci-fi in this. This is
straight, medieval type.
The dragon Grima has taken over the future. It's a zombie wasteland with the evil risen, destroying everyone, and the great goddess Naga sends back a handful of warriors. This is pure sci-fi. But she sends back Lucina, who, if you've played Smash Brothers Brawl, this is where Lucina and Robin come from. Robin is your unit. You can rename him or her. You can choose what.
Unit.
It's your unit.
It is your unit.
You can name your unit. You can choose whether your unit's a guy or a girl.
Well, usually.
And
it's your unit.
You really don't have a choice sometimes.
Sometimes.
Depends.
When you're 18, you can do what
I don't
you want.
judge.
Right? But not that, time travel sometimes gets overused, but when done right, and I think they've done it right here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd like to see it used in fantasy even more. I mean, it kind of makes sense more in fantasy because you could magic portals, potions, use spells. With science fiction, you could bullshit it a little bit, but you still have to have some sort of explanation why there's time travel, right?
Well, shit, dude, that was Army of Darkness.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a valid point.
Well, yeah, and we all know how much I fucking love Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell and the Evil Dead series.
Yeah,
Sure.
Shirtless posters behind the door in the bathroom, right?
Well, I mean, what? Wait, what?
Right?
What were we talking about? What show are we in?
Yeah, what? Well, that's cool.
If you'll excuse me, though, I really have to get back to Fire Emblem, so we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, and hopefully we'll have some more interesting stuff to talk about next week.
If you guys have any ideas or any comments you wanna put in here, that you heard us say, of course, just put it in the bottom there in the little comment section.
Feel free to give us suggestions, comments, hate us, like us. Visit our YouTube page, please.
And if you have any suggestions for Fire Emblem Awakening pairings, let me know, because I have more run-throughs to do, and let me know what some of the good conversations to get are.
Yeah. This has been Geek Yogurt. I'm Song.
I'm Wave.
Rah-rah.
And knock.
Bye. Sleep mode.